Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. Today is Wednesday, the 6th day of March. It's Alamo Day today. It's also Day of the Dude. So if you know any dudes, shout out to them. National Dentist Day. Oh, we should call our dentist and wish her a happy Dentist Day. National Frozen Food Day. National Oreo Day. How funny is that? Oreo Cookie Day is Dentist Day. I remember when I was a kid, we were going to the dentist one time and I ate a bunch of Oreos and it looked like I had all kinds of cavities. I was like, so funny. They've seen it before. National White Chocolate Cheesecake Day, National World Tennis Day, and No Homework Day. I haven't had homework for years, which is a good thing. And I do have a guest today. I'm excited. Almost made this my Movie Star Monday guest, but I've been so blessed with some amazing Movie Star Monday guests. So I asked if Jackée Harry would join me today.
I love
I'm
Jackée.
so excited. She is such a sweetheart, too. And very, very kind about moving stuff around. And Days of Our Lives, she's on that now. She's been on a ton of stuff, but we'll chat with her all about it coming up.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A University of Texas study found that young women and men who wore high heels for several months began walking differently in a good way, according to this. Contrary to widespread belief about wearing high heels, those in the study were found to become better, more efficient walkers, not only when wearing the high heels, but also in flats. The researchers believe that the high heels could be used as, quote, a training tool for those with mobility issues, for athletes, for others who wish to be able to move faster and with more ease. Some test subjects, however, complained of squished toes and were found to have shorter calf muscles and stiffer Achilles tendons. Did you know that originally high heels were designed for men?
I think we had read that.
Yeah, when they were first designed, they were designed for men, and then the men quit wearing them, and women started wearing them. And when I say men quit wearing them, not all men apparently, because according to this study from the University of Texas, here's the thing: I was in an event where I had to wear high heels, very uncomfortable, and everybody's like, "Oh, but men just love how they look." I've never even noticed them, so
You have to.
I haven't. You say that all the time. Stop. It's a scam. Quit wearing them. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know now that we've recovered from the shock of the unfounded rumor that Gmail was supposedly going away? I remember when that happened because somebody knows that I use that for my stuff and they're like, oh, you have to come up with something new. As it turns out, that rumor was not true. But this rumor is true. Elon Musk is planning to take on Gmail with Xmail. Yeah, he replied to a tweet from ex-security engineer Nate McGrady that asked when the company would be developing Xmail. Musk responded with 2 words, "It's coming." While it could simply be a trial balloon on his part, simply to judge whether or not people would actually want this, it says that there are already at least 3 existing email services in existence by the name of Xmail, but it should be noted that Musk would probably have no problem coming up with the funds needed to buy the rights to the name if he needed it.
Right.
Gmail, by the way, originally was Garfield Mail, Garfield the cat, and they had that set up, and then Google bought it from them. So that's how that cat gets all that lasagna, all that Google money.
I suppose so.
We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. The Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts, and Sciences announced some of the big stars who are going to be hanging out this weekend on March the 10th for the 96th annual Oscars. It'll be hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. We already knew that. But Brendan Fraser will be there. Matthew McConaughey will be there. I'm looking through the list. Michelle Pfeiffer, Al Pacino, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nicolas Cage. Several others. So if you're interested, I've got a list here, and it's probably not even the full list, but they'll be presenting awards.
Are you going to be watching?
Probably not. After months of speculation, it's official as well that Ryan Gosling will be there as well, and he'll be singing the song "I'm Just Ken." He'll be at and Alec Baldwin. I don't know if he's on the list for that, but he is on the list for this. He's got a trial coming up this summer.
Yes.
For Rust. That is happening now. Jury selection will be on July the 9th. So. And it's interesting because I've seen people online on both sides of this, some saying what is going on, but at the end of the day, it's a trial. So I guess that's where we'll find what happened, and we'll find out who's to blame and all of that. That's how this process works. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A leading geneticist says that human intelligence is slowly declining. Need proof of that? It took me 5 minutes to learn how to say geneticists. And I probably still said it wrong. Do you think I said it right? Is that how you say it?
Most likely you did not say it right.
A leading geneticist? I think that's how you say it. But they're saying that human intelligence is slowly declining. I'll tell you why I think that is. Not that anyone's asking. But I think it's because when I was a kid, we had to learn how to spell things. Now, you don't need to know how to spell anything. Your phone will fix it. Your stuff will fix it. But it doesn't always. So then I see some messages that are like, what did you mean by this? What were you trying to say?
I get to going just so fast, and then I don't look at it before I press send, and my phone has changed things that it shouldn't have changed, and I press send, and it's like, well, that didn't make any sense at all.
Well, it's probably because you were drunk, but no, just kidding. I'm just teasing. All right, and moving on to this. This, I think, is actually kind of a fun thing. If you were paying attention like a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago now, Wendy's, the burger chain, said they were going to do a new thing where they were going to do like different pricing for different times of the day, depending on how busy they are. And that idea didn't last very long.
Yeah, there was some backlash.
There was a lot of people upset. So here's the official story that I have. It says, Wendy's has now said they have no plans to raise menu prices at times of peak demand after the chain was scorched on social media for comments its CEO made, suggesting the chain may start testing what they call dynamic pricing. So anyway, they plan to test.
No, we were just kidding. We weren't going to do that. That was
plan
just
to test
a
the
joke.
prices of the food that fluctuated throughout the day based on the demand during a conference call earlier this month. Wendy's CEO Kirk Tanner said the restaurant will start testing dynamic pricing known as surge pricing as early as next year. The pricing strategy, by the way, that they scrapped it now. They said we're not going to do that, but it raised costs to consumers according to demand. It already had taken hold with rideshare companies and ticket sellers. So there's other people doing this already.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we could do that. So when we're really busy. But now they're like, no, we're not going to do that. After thinking this through and seeing that people hated it, we decided not to do that. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit with Jackée Harry, and we're going to talk about Days of Our Lives on Peacock. This show has been around forever. What is it like being a part of the cast on that amazing program?
Oh, I started about almost 3 years ago now, and it was tough. You know, a lot of lines, a lot of work, and you have to get accepted into the family, so to speak. You know, it's like meeting somebody for the first time. But now I'm having a great time. Paulina Price, I'm the mayor. I went from mayor straight away. But it took a while to get used to the schedule. You know, a lot of lines, a lot of work, showing up early and being on top of your game, you know, which I'm always down to do.
Absolutely.
So they've let me in finally. You know, I feel part of the family now.
You've had the chance to be on so many TV shows and movies, and your personality just shines through it all. So there's some of these characters that are not supposed to be lovable. You know what? They're still pretty darn lovable.
Oh, no, I gotta change that. Yeah, I want to be a bad girl. I do, but they won't let me. I'll be a bad girl maybe for one day, and then my character changes. But you know what? There's longevity in good characters, so.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was listening to Hans and Die Hard, which I love. I always want to be the baddie.
Absolutely.
But the baddie don't always live, so I'll take the good stuff.
And the best part is the good characters get to come back. You know, they survive, and they're on the next episode as well. Now, we got to make sure we talk about Christmas movies, too. You got so many fun Christmas movies, and I love the Christmas movie genre.
I'm doing a couple now, and I enjoy them. I enjoy them when they're not just milky, toasty, you know, warm. I like when there's a little angst, you know, like some of the movies we see. I don't want to mention them, but I like making people feel good, you know, and they let me improv a lot on these movies. I get these parts, they don't know me, because a lot of people look at me from the old days, you know, this funny. But when I get there, I can bring some drama to it. I can bring some warmth and feeling, which I love doing, you know, and being the mom or the auntie, I think I'm getting ready to play a grandmother somewhere, I think, which I dread, because I'm a little fly grandma, you know.
I love it.
So I'm enjoying. Yeah, it's a different genre. It used to be only Hallmark. Now they're everywhere, Christmas movies, you know. It's really a different playing field.
Now, your career has been amazing. You've been on a bunch of great TV shows, been in some fun movies. But what was your first big break that gave you the first big chance for that?
I was in a play off-Broadway, and I got discovered by a casting agent. She saw me in the back row, and I was back there messing up the steps so I could be noticed. And I got 2 lines in Another World, a soap opera out in Astoria. I had 2 lines, and I went from a day play, which is, you know, you get paid daily. And they gave me a contract, and then I got an audition for 227 and got the part and got whisked away to LA. Never looked back. They have not let me go. I have not stopped working. Knock on wood since, you know. I had some dry spells. People don't believe me, but I have. But for me, in those dry spells, I did other things. Plays, you know, I do stuff, readings. I do all kinds of stuff just to keep my hand in it.
Oh, yeah. And now all of your characters are fun, but what's really fun, on Days of Our Lives, you are the mayor. You are in charge. What is that like?
Oh, I'm bossy, you know it. I don't shy away from it anymore. I want it to be delicate. I want it to be a daisy, but I ain't no daisy. Sorry. I just like being the boss, and I'm the mayor, but, you know, I got a heart on here, and I come across as authoritative but warm, and I'm teaching those young girls on me a thing or two, but they keep me current and relevant. Raven and Ilya, they just bring a joy and an energy that I like, you know, and I'm getting to know them, and a lot of people in the crew as well. So it keeps me on my toes. And, you know, it makes me feel good to go to work. I like being a part of something.
I love that. Now, there's got to be somebody listening that would like to do this for a living. If they're listening and going, I want to be as happy as she is, what advice do you give somebody that's getting started in show business?
I tell them study first. Know what you're doing. Know how to act, how to sustain. Because you can't just do it on personality alone. Because some days you wake up and it ain't good. You know, you have to tell people, I'm not happening today. So when you have technique, which is learning how to act, you know, all the points, not just the memorization, but how to build a character, and do that for a couple of years or 5, however long it takes, and then start auditioning and getting parts, but learn from your fellow actors. That's where you get all of, it's like Matt Damon was talking about, he and Ben Affleck. They work together, and it builds character, it builds layers. So you got to get out in the world, and don't just get on the internet. You can meet a lot of people on the internet, but you got to be with people. Social anxiety is a big deal these days. And a lot of people have it because they don't know how to be with people. But with actors, you got to learn how to be with people. You may not like them, they may not like you, but you got to know your craft.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. I appreciate it a bunch.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
And again, you can see her as the mayor on Days of Our Lives on Peacock. I've got a link to all of the information for that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead. ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
It snows more in the Grand Canyon than it does in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Isn't that weird?
Okay.
I would never have thought of that. The Grand Canyon, I don't think of that as a place with a lot of snow, but it's because I've never been there when it's snowing. So,
Okay.
fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If you buy a lottery ticket on a Monday, you are 100 times more likely to die before the drawing is held on Wednesday
gosh.
than you are to win the jackpot. So if you buy it on a Monday, you have a better chance of dying before the drawing than you do of winning the drawing. So, well, that's nice. Let's not leave on that one. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first Fords had engines made by Dodge. Officially, it was by the Dodge brothers, if you want to be official. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Toto, the dog, was paid $125 a week while filming The Wizard of Oz. That's cool. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Of the 70% of water covering the earth, only 3% is fresh water. The other 97% is salt water.
Yeah?
So there you go. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 23% of people agree this thing, which you may do on the weekend, is an instant mood booster. What is it? I don't know if I agree that it is an instant mood booster, but sometimes, you got to do it.
I don't know.
Getting your car washed.
Oh.
Does that boost your
That
mood?
would have not even been on my radar.
It's like, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I had such a great weekend. I washed my car. Awesome weekend, man. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Heidi, it happened this weekend. The Florida Man Games took place in Florida.
I have heard about
promoted
these.
as the most insane athletic showdown on earth. Now, the games came about thanks to the state of Florida's reputation for weird stories involving brawling, drinking, gunfire, and alligators. 5,000 spectators showed up to drink some beer and watch some people do some silly
Hilarious.
things. Dozens of teams of men in tank tops and cutoffs battled in different Florida Man games. James Gordon was the winner of the first event, wolfing down a plate of barbecued pork and sausage in a fraction of a second before his nearest competitor. Then he chugged a beer to celebrate. Afterwards, in the interview, he said, "I've lived in Florida my whole life. They're calling these events. I'm calling this a bleeping Tuesday." So I had to bleep. I can't say what he said. Other events were a sumo-style wrestling while holding pitchers of beer, running from an actual sheriff deputy while jumping fences and avoiding obstacles. So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
What a hoot.
It sounds like an afternoon. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Natural headache remedies, according to experts. So the number one thing on the list, there's 5 things here. The number one thing is just drinking water. They say the natural results of rehydration will surprise you. Sometimes you have a headache, not because you have a problem really, but you just are low on water.
Right.
You're dehydrated. That causes
I
headaches.
could see that.
Number 2, more sleep. They say getting more sleep will actually help help cure headaches. So if you have chronic headaches and you have them a lot, maybe it's because you're not getting enough sleep.
rest.
Number 3, massage. So you can
Ooh,
actually
I'm
do a
all
little
for that.
massage there. Number 4, essential oils. Well, those things will cure anything, won't they?
That's what they say.
There used to be a lady when we worked in a different office building. She worked in that office building, and she was an essential oils sweetheart, wonderful lady. She brought me in one, and she's like, "If you use it for this and this and this," I don't remember what the list was, but it was a lot of stuff. And I'm like, "Wow, that's a pretty essential oil." And number 5 on the list is exercise. So saying there's a link between exercise and a reduced headache frequency and severity. So if you'd like to read the list and get all the details, it's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Now, your quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from William Lowe Bryan, who says, "A college education is one of the few things a person is willing to pay for and not get."
Yeah.
I know people who do that. They pay for the education, but they don't go to classes. And then they wonder why they didn't graduate. So don't do that, by the way. If you're going to go to school, go to school. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of the all-new Genesis Gold IRA.com. And there's several good news stories here, so I got to pick one. How about Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, this one right here? Because this is actually really cool. There's some really good news stories. So the next few days, you'll have some great ones. Free meals for truckers. This is happening in Australia. And it's not just one, it's actually a whole bunch of places. A remote pub nestled in North Queensland has become a focal point of a nationwide wave of generosity. The Oasis Exchange Hotel has been inundated with calls from compassionate Australians eager to contribute meals to truck drivers facing challenging times. Sharing the Inspiration Initiative on Facebook, the pub expressed, after a heartfelt conversation with a struggling truck driver, managing a mere $200 from a journey from this place to this place. So they had a big, long drive, and that's how much they were going to get after paying for fuel and everything else.
Oh, my gosh.
They said, "We decided to take action. To all drivers facing financial constraints during a week on the road, simply grab a docket from our board and present it at the bar. We'll ensure you are well fed and hydrated. And we will find, when you find yourself in a better situation, you can pay it forward and extend the kindness to someone else."
Wow.
So the Oasis Exchange Hotel is who did this. And now this has taken off like wildfire because not only has this done well for them, because somebody's paying for this.
Right.
There are people reaching out going, "Hey, I'd like to pay."
I'll donate one. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they prepay a tab.
Yep,
and
I
it
love
gets
that.
taped on the board.
Love that.
And then there's also a place where they're saying, "Hey, if you're here just enjoying a meal and you find yourself in a fortunate situation where you can afford to do this, if you want, just add that and we'll stick another one on here." And I think it is a really neat thing. And it's taken off now. And there's a bunch of people all across the country of Australia who are stepping up and saying, "Hey, we'll do that here too. We're going to help. We want to," because, you don't want to have to drive all the way to that side of the country just to eat. So we'll do it over here. I think it's neat. I've got a link to that story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.